Hi YouTube. I wanted to come back and read more from scriptures about walking in the Spirit and how to recognize those that are and those that are not. Okay, I'm going to be reading from Galatians chapter 5, starting at verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are the Messiah's have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Okay, so let's break these scriptures down for better understanding. Okay, the scriptures 22, verse 22 and 23 describes what the fruit of the Spirit is. So we could recognize someone that is walking in that and someone that is not. Let's not be deceived. The scriptures tell you exactly what the fruit of the Spirit is. Okay? Also, in verse 23, it says, against such there is no law. If you are walking in the Spirit, you are walking correctly. That's what it means, when it says, against such there is no law. Okay? 25, if we live in the Spirit, let us walk also in the Spirit. Both. You must live and walk in the Spirit. Okay? 26, let us not be desirous of vainglory. Vainglory, for an example, wanting to be glorified, seeking and desiring in your heart to be validated, to obtain rewards from the world. Okay, now it's okay because you let someone else exalt you. Don't exalt yourself. But this scripture is saying desire. So that means if you're seeking after the vainglory, for a pat on the back, for a reward, you are a seeker of these things. Okay, it says let us not be. Okay, that's just plain and simple. Okay, it says do not provoke one another or be jealous of one another. Okay, so I just wanted to bring this because I hear a lot about people say they are led by the Spirit, they walk in the Spirit, they can discern. But the Spirit leads you into all truth according to Scripture. If you're not walking in the Spirit, which have been described to us in these scriptures, verse 22 and 23, you are not being led by the Spirit, you are being led by the flesh. Now, if the Spirit is what leads you into all truth, the flesh must be leading you into destruction and deceit. Okay? So let's be careful who we follow, that we look up to as far as discernment. Okay? Because if you're being led by the flesh, then you're not discerning correctly. Okay? Not in complete truth. Okay? Because the scriptures tell us to lean not to our own understanding. So when we're being led by the flesh, we can get caught up in leaning towards our own understanding, okay? Because the Spirit is what leads us into all truth, okay? Also, when it says that, and they that are the Messiahs, in verse 24, and they that are the Messiahs have crucified the flesh, okay, with the affections and the lusts. Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 31, he says, I die daily. A part of your flesh, every day you should be dying, okay? The Messiah says you must leave yourself in order to follow. Okay, leaving yourself means leaving your flesh. Okay, leaving, the affections, the lust of the flesh. If you are of the faith, you know what the lust of the flesh is. You must leave all of that. Leave your whole self. Okay, so your every action, your every thought should be one big praise to the Most High. Okay, that is fully leaving yourself. When the Bible tells us that we should bring every thought into captivity. If every thought could be a danger to us, that scripture alone should let us know that we are in spiritual warfare. There is no time to play around, with our own thinking, our own thoughts. Every thought could be dangerous. Every thought could put us back in the flesh and take us, and knock us out of the spirit. Okay, so we need to be careful. We need to spend more time communing with our own heart. I understand that we live in a world that so many things are easy to judge, but we have to spend time judging ourselves. Okay, because we cannot even counsel, deliver, help, in deliverance for another brother or sister, if the plank is still existing in our own eye. Okay, the blind cannot lead the blind. Okay, that is just not possible according to Scripture. You must remove the plank from your own eye in order to see clear. Okay, so with all this counsel and what we think each other should do, our instruction and our understanding, if we are of the faith, has to be the understanding of the Most High. It has to be His understanding and His ways in everything that we do. If it's not that, then following an individual that is led by the flesh is leading you into destruction, leading you nowhere. Okay, so let's reflect and commune with our own hearts first. Okay, meditate on the scriptures day and night. Now that seems like a lot, but when you have to bring every thought into captivity, that's understandable, I can understand why it says day and night, because every moment is at stake. The enemy of the Most High is waiting to deceive you, okay, to rob you, to destroy you, okay? So I hope this message has been a blessing to you. Thanks for listening.